Hello, everyone. I'm Kinga Ferguson, the Executive Director of Ars Lyrica Houston, and it's my pleasure to bring a special guest today, Consul General of the Republic of Poland in Houston, Mr. Robert Rusiecki. Welcome, Robert.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. Mr. Rusiecki served as the Consul General in London and the Deputy Consul General in Chicago before coming to Houston in 2018 when the Polish Consulate was first established. And I quickly discovered that he's a great fan of music and also plays musical instruments himself. And we started discussing different ways to promote Polish musical heritage here in Houston. And that's how the concept of Cantio Polonica first germinated. And luckily for us, we already had some great resources. Our frequent collaborator, Arash Nouri, who is a guitar, a theorbo, and lute player, already had done some significant research in this field and even performed Polish Baroque music at the National Festival. And he graciously agreed to curate a program which will focus on Polish Baroque instrumental music. So the program that you will hear on May 23rd will feature three major composers: Wojciech Długoraj and his lute book, Adam Jarzębski and his Canzoni and Concerti, and Wencesław Wodiczka and his first publication, Say Sonata. Those composers were truly cosmopolitan figures in Europe, and they contributed greatly to the development of European Baroque. And although they inspired themselves in their work by German and Italian style, you can hear some typical Polish melodic elements in their compositions. We are especially thrilled because truly this music is rarely heard, even in Poland. So promoting this music and recording this music for the first time in Houston, and in some cases for the first time in the United States, is very important for us. And on a personal level, I think this concert is also especially meaningful for us, all the Poles, because it coincides with a special celebration of the Polish Constitution, which falls on May 3rd. So we'll be airing it a little bit after, but Poles celebrate the Polish Constitution throughout the month of May. And I would like to ask Mr. Rusiecki about this Constitution and why it was so significant for the Poles and the world. So please, Robert, tell us a few words about the Constitution.
Well, thank you, Kinga. I'm also excited that there is this connection between the concert and Polish National Day on May 3rd. And as you already said, that it's Polish Constitution Day. This is an interesting story because May 3rd Constitution was adopted on May 3rd, 1791. Which means it's the second oldest constitution in the world and the first constitution in Europe. At its time, back in the day, it was quite democratic because before that there was a privileged group, social group in Poland. We may call this group the gentry or nobility. So these people have their say, while other social groups were not so important. The Constitution introduced the rights and privileges for the peasants and also for townspeople in the beginning of Polish middle class. Second thing which I'd like to mention is the abolishing of the liberum veto. So this was the veto right, and one member of the parliament could veto a particular initiative and break and kill the future law. Paying just one member of the parliament was enough to kill a good initiative, legal initiative. So this was abolished. And at that time, Poland was in a kind of turmoil. It was mess internally. Poland has had enemies all around. The simple geopolitical location of Poland makes it easy to understand that being between the two superpowers, Russia and Germany, didn't always mean a good thing for Poles. So it was internal problems, it was external problems, so it was the very last moment to reform the country and to bring up this constitutional initiative to have it passed. To start changing the country and the state powers and make it everything more modern, more self-reliant. It appeared that it was too late eventually because Russia invaded Poland soon after, and Poland was wiped off the map of Europe. So the first opportunity to celebrate the May 3rd National Day was when Poland regained independence in Poland regained independence in 1918 towards the end of the Great War. So soon after, Poles were happy to celebrate its National Day. After the Second World War, when Russians started governing Poland, and Poland became a member of the communist group in that part of Europe, the Constitution Day was abolished. I think it was very difficult, very awkward national day for the communist regime because it signified the democratic initiatives. It signified the freedom of the state. So after the big change in 1989, we started celebrating this national again. So I'm particularly happy that we can connect our national with a beautiful Polish music.
Thank you for sharing the story with our audiences. Not everybody knows that Poland didn't exist for so many years after the partitions, and the Polish spirit that was often exemplified by Polish culture and music. Lots of Polish composers who immigrated to France and other European countries, like Chopin, wrote the music with the typical Polish tunes, just as a way to emphasize the importance of Polishness. You know, they helped us survive this very difficult time. So the music will always played a very, very important role in preserving Polishness for Poles in the country and abroad. So we are happy to be able to present this music that's, again, very little known even in Poland. It's never been heard in Houston, so we are thrilled to present it for the first time. And also following up on this, I would like you to tell us about other important work that the consulate is doing in Houston to promote Polish heritage. We are simply delighted that the consulate is supporting musical projects. But what about other projects that will help us know more about Polish culture?
Well, I'd like to say it's a great question. Most of the people, when asked the question, say it's a great question. So, but I actually mean it because we have so many people asking what we actually do at the consulate. So, cutting the long story short, we issue passports for Polish citizens and we issue visas for non-Polish citizens. We also provide some kind of legal services. There's a catalog of legal services that we are able to to offer to our visitors. Also, we help Polish nationals when they are in trouble. They may lose a passport, but they may get involved in a car accident. They may be arrested. So there are all sorts of situations that we can offer our help. And an important part of our work, of our job, of our service is maintain relationships with Polish communities in our area of jurisdiction. And on top of that, we are particularly happy to promote Polish culture and to get engaged in various cultural projects with our partners. We couldn't really find a better partner to work together, and I hope that we'll do more projects in the future.
That's wonderful to hear, and thank you again for the generosity. Just a reminder, this program will be aired on May 23rd at 6 p.m. The program is co-sponsored by the Consulate General of the Republic of Poland and also the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Poland. So we are grateful for the support and enabling us to present Polish Baroque music to Houston and really international audiences, since it's going to be a virtual broadcast. So I would like to invite all of you to join us on May 23rd. Also a little plug for Polish culture and organizations. So in addition to the Polish Consulate, we are proud to have our Polish church, Our Lady of Częstochowa, and the Polish school that's associated with the church. Right across from the school and the church, you will find a Polish restaurant, Polonia, and Polish store. So you can go there to have a taste of Poland. And of course, join us for this concert, but also join us for Polish festivals that are held biannually. One is coming up in the fall, I think September, and one is in May of next year. So join us, and thank you once again, Mr. Rusiecki, for being with us today.
Thank you, Kinga, and thank you, Ars Lyrica Houston. It's been a real pleasure to be able to say a few words about Polish Constitution and about Polish culture. And I wholeheartedly welcome everyone to tune in on May 23rd and listen to the gems from the Polish Baroque.